Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, and I am so happy all of you guys are here with me to help me celebrate 8K. It sounds funny, but it's true. I never thought I was going to ever get like 8K. I was happy to just have 80, and things just kind of went from there, and more people seem to like how crazy I talk. So, okay, it's all good. But I wanted to have this stream to, just have fun, kick back, celebrate all of you guys building this amazing community on my channel. And honestly, I would not be the channel that I am without you guys at all. So I'm just glad I'm here. I'm just glad y'all are here. And I'm just glad y'all love listening to my crazy ass rant on and on on and on. So glad you guys are starting to filter in, and I've got some folks that are going to be, like when you have your party and everything, people drop in, and out and all of that. So that's kind of like what we're going to wind up doing. So to start off with on the panel, we've got Ron Bradley, we've got Nolan Thunder, and from the Dark Council, we have got Mark with a C. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Great to be here. Congratulations. Congratulations on 8,000
Lieutenant.
You totally earned it.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Everyone.
Hardest working woman out there, I tell you. Grind. Yeah.
Only thing I know how to do. Well, one of the things I know how to do, but yeah, working hard is one of those. Try to get out there and do the thing as best you can. Sometimes it blows up in your face, sometimes it doesn't. But you know what? At least you do the work to get there. And I love that my nieces and nephews think I'm cool because I'm on YouTube, even though I'm just like, cool, no, you need to stay in school. Auntie, where's your merch? Where's your merch? And my nephew, he's just like, do you play games like Preston? I'm like, who the heck is Preston? And then I see who it is. He just sits there playing video games all day. I'm like, you watch this? He's like, yeah, I like watching Preston play games. I like watching Preston play games. And then I put together the darn PS4, and he won't let me play. I can't play.
I can't play at all. YouTuber and everything. Why won't he let you play?
No, the only way he'll let me play is if he gets stuck on something. Then they call me. But other than that, he's like, no, I got it, and won't give me the PS4.
He's afraid you're competition. That's what he's afraid of.
Now, is that the full Lieutenant Uhura with the mini dress and everything, or is it just the red shirt? If it's the red shirt, you're in trouble.
No, and we actually had this discussion. Yes, it is. Yes, it is the mini dress. It is.
So she's gonna live.
It's yes. So I'm gonna live. I'm gonna be on the bridge.
Nice.
Where they tell me, 3 to beam up, but there were 4 of y'all. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We know what happened.
One of our panelists died in a horrible, tragic accident on a planet, but
oh golly.
And my favorite, like, okay, open hailing.
Or maybe he survived. I'm not for sure.
What the Spock?
Yeah, usually they don't come back. It's just like, all right, I'm going. Okay, yeah, figured that.
He'll come back in a later season as an evil. There to avenge the death or something.
It's like as soon as that red shirt, so as soon as he starts talking a little too much, it's like, nah, dude, we not gonna see you. Hey, Marvin, how you doing?
Oh, this is embarrassing. We wore the same outfit today.
We did?
Yes, we should have coordinated, Lorena.
Oh, well, if you've got the red shirt, you know what's going to happen to you, right?
Well, no, yeah,
He's wearing the red skirt
today.
Is that what he's saying? I mean, no judgment. You wearing the red mini too?
Oh, you know, sometimes you just got to feel free.
Yeah.
Feel the breeze
It's fun to
between
be
the
free.
knees.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh my
congratulations, my friend. 8,000 subscribers. That's insane and wonderful. And we're going to be talking about 10,000 very soon. I can already tell.
oh my gosh, I can't even.
Oh yeah, 10
That-
is just around the
that's-
corner.
That
Like a month away. Come on.
I could see you
I
at
guess.
16,000 before the end of the year. Honestly, the rate you're growing.
I guess I think I just have so much fun just doing it. Sometimes it's just like saying, oh, well, you're going to be at that. I'm like, okay, but now I know not to push back on that, because when I started, and I forget who it was who told me, they're like, oh, you're going to be at 1,000 subscribers in like 2 months. I'm like, yeah, right, sure, yeah, I'll be at 1,000. Yeah, actually, I did by then, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna say it, just nod my head. Okay, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I say we'll be there, and more people keep subscribing and all of that. So I just love having fun doing this. This is so much fun. And speaking of having fun, I love it when people drop in. We got Dante from Verbal Riot Show. How you doing?
Woo-hoo.
How's it going, guys? Good to see you. Lorena, congratulations.
Boom, boom.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
your
you so
setup,
much.
dude.
Oh, thanks,
That's
man.
cool.
It's I call it simplistic.
Cool. The glow goes a long way.
That is pretty cool.
Not wanting to use a green screen.
I've never used the green screen.
Take that, Lucas.
I mean, look, a green screen is useful if you really need it. The problem is lighting. It takes really good lighting for the green screen to kind of pop. And the place that I'm at now, my new place, the lighting isn't great, so I had to like do this makeshift thing. And it's like, and this is a Hollywood thing, man. They do this like when they have to do like a pop-up interview, they just throw together a black curtain and lights and they do the interview. So kind of just took that little lesson and said, you know what? Why not?
I have seen that. I'm like, this is how you do it? It's just a black screen
sometimes you got to
and
do it on
some
the fly.
lighting.
It's like, hey,
And
we got a black curtain and some lights. All right.
yeah.
No, don't you?
I
Haven't you
was
seen the
like-
trend now that they're doing, where you use like the fake curtain behind you to make it look like you're on a successful podcast or something like that, when in reality you just made it look like their background?
Yeah, I mean it's just camera magic.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, CNN does it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
I saw
remember
someone he
last
was
time I saw
faking that
CNN.
he was trying to literally recreate Joe Rogan's podcast background, and he was making like an Instagram reel to make it look like he was on the same like stage, like he was being interviewed or something, where he just faked the whole thing. And it was like, I'm all for a professional, but don't just plagiarize, bro.
Lighting
Yeah,
is
no,
so
I
important
totally
when
agree.
you're a darker skinned person too. I mean, let's just talk practicality. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's very important to do that. I can't tell you how many family functions where they take pictures, and I'm like, I'm there. Trust me, I'm there. You know. But you know, you gotta look out for yourself, man. It's your show. You know, it's your channel. You do it. You know, flatter yourself.
You're right about that lighting, because I can't tell you how many photo shoots or other things that I've been to where they will have some half-ass lighting and it's like a box of store-bought chocolate chip cookies. I'm the only chip that's in the cookie.
You know what I mean?
Because that's just a suburbs thing. And and the lighting's just like crap. But I started to learn how you do lighting, especially with lighting and like makeup and stuff like that. So whenever someone would come at me in a drugstore like, oh, I want to do your makeup, I'm like, I don't freaking trust you. I do not trust you unless you're at the MAC counter. And then even if you work at MAC, you have to have tattoos for some reason. If you've got tattoos and you're a makeup artist at the MAC counter, your makeup game is on point. Like they hook you up because they understand the artistry of what's going on. So that's kind of like what got me into liking special effects makeup, especially. I love that. I love the heck out of that. Aliens, green skin, all of that. I'm trying to do a Gamora cosplay, but I gotta drop in on some professionals to show me.
That's a commitment. that costume. And I know a girl who goes to Comic-Con. She's a regular, and she Gamora is one of her cosplays, and she told me it takes hours to get that done. So,
yep,
it's not as easy as just putting on green makeup.
No, there's so many things that you have to do. And for example, Thrawn, goodness gracious, it's like they just threw paint on him and that's it. It's like, no, that's not it. There's different shades, layers, the foundation of how they have to do it. It's a very precise craft, but apparently Disney didn't want to pay for that. Hey, Culture, how you doing?
Hey, fantastic. I wanted to drop in and say congratulations, as I think I'm going to do almost every single month as you hit another milestone. So well done. By the way, you are smoking, kid. Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's wildly inappropriate, but it's okay.
Oh, that's all right. You know, I'm pretty hard to offend.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah, you've got a lot of distinguished guests here. My goodness, I feel like I don't even belong here.
I do. Retro, are you going to be able to make it? I hope so, because you're in the group. Thank you. So, wow, you look so gorgeous. I tried to find a 60s style wig for some reason, like the ones for the horror costume. For some reason, they're just, you can't get a hold of them. I don't get it.
And all that.
Yeah, it's like the beehive. It's for some reason they're just really difficult, like to get. If I had the lead time, I could put it together myself. As you know, just takes time and work to do, and you need that hairspray that punches a hole in the ozone layer.
I'm gonna start using that.
What was that 1980s stuff called? The
Aquanet.
Aquanet, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody used Aquanet.
Hey, man, that goes back to the 50s because I saw it in Mad Men. So come on now.
Yeah, that's been around.
My Jason Priestley hair back then.
A long time, because I'd asked my mom, because when that style came back, I was like, my mom's got all these patterns and everything, so I can just make my own. And yeah, she threw them out because she didn't think the style would come back. So I'm like, how come I can't do this beehive? And I'm trying to do it, and she's like, because you don't have hairspray. I'm like, oh, what's that for? It's like, it's the only way it's going to stay up. I'm like, oh, okay, man, that thing could withstand like a, Category 5 hurricane by the time you swirl it.
Aquanet was amazing, but when you had to do the flock of seagulls look, or you had a mohawk or something, you had to use some egg whites and stuff to kind of glue your hair in place. So,
wow.
Yeah, to get that to work, I tell you.
Or that stuff from There's Something About Mary. That was
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're not going there. I'm going to pretend that I didn't hear that. Hey, Beetle J, for $5. Thank you so much, my Dark Castle brother. On my way, and congrats with the fire emojis. So, thank you so much for that. Fatal, y'all got to check out Ninja Blast 2. That's coming out, and yeah, I'm just thankful you guys brought me on the Dark Council after so long of me sniping in the comments and saying stuff.
Were you like hiding in the bushes? Like the way you word that, where you're like sniping. I'm like, were you just hiding in the background the whole time? Like,
yeah, I was in the chat. Well, I'll let Mark tell you. I was in the chat, and here's Fatal. He can back me up on this too. Hey, Fatal.
Look at him. He's working on that hair. Look at him go.
Styling.
Brush.
What you got, a sponge brush for?
Yeah.
We don't know anything that you said, bro.
And it sounds. I think it was Soul Glow. I think it was a Soul Glow commercial.
Dude, I gotta tell you that was one of the best bits ever in Coming to America. Right, is the Soul Glow commercial. I lost my stuff, man. I was.
when they all got up off the couch.
Yes.
I
Jerry
love.
Curl
Oh my
juice.
gosh.
Based
Oh,
on real
yes.
events.
Oh,
Yes.
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 Uh.
Like, you can't sit
It-
on the couch with no.
Trust me,
It
if you
just
went to a
got out
black
of
barbecue in the
control.
80s, man, every couch was like that. Every
It
couch.
got out of control, bro. It got out of control. You know, it's like
Well-
everybody was trying to say it was their natural. I got Cherokee in my family. It's like, bro, stop
nah,
it. We
nah,
all
come
know
on.
it's the active. We can smell the activator. You know.
Oh god.
Cherokee hair doesn't drip like that.
Oh.
No. No.
Oh.
Boy.
And remember that
It
curl
wasn't all
activator?
good.
That stuff was like crack with how people
And highly flammable.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Highly
Ask,
flammable.
ask Michael Jackson.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's messed up
Wait,
about
what happened
Michael
to
Jackson
Michael?
in that situation is I found out
A
like
lot.
years later, he never wanted to endorse Pepsi. He never wanted to do it. He did it for his brothers because
Wow.
they begged
That's
him
true.
to do it.
Yeah.
And then he's the one who gets burned up.
Mhm.
Oh man, that sucks.
Poor
Because if you notice in the commercials,
Dude.
if you go back and watch those
Wait.
commercials on YouTube,
So-
he never holds a can of Pepsi.
But I got to ask you a question then. I got to ask you a question, my friend. So does that mean that Richard Pryor didn't want to endorse Pepsi either?
Well, that was cocaine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
All
that was
Yeah.
freebase. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
thought
That's totally different.
totally different.
He knew what he was getting into when he did that.
Yeah. Richard was all in.
Yeah.
I was trying to set up a
Totally.
joke for somebody. It didn't work out for me very well. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's all right.
I'm gonna
Uh,
send you
relate
the
to that
link.
one.
Michael
I thought I-
endorsed Pepsi. Richard
I thought I
endorsed
put you
Coke. I
in,
got it.
That's weird. I thought I had you in the group, Retro Nerd Girl. I double checked. But anyway, I sent you the link so you can jump on the panel. Thank you so much, Jay, for those 5 gifted Reina Creole memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My members get all kinds of bonus benefits, including our movie and TV club, because we're watching House of the Dragon. So yeah.
I think I might be the only person who hasn't started that show yet.
What?
I haven't.
I know.
What?
I don't have HBO Max, so I mean, or Max, I guess. But yeah, I don't have it, so I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
It's really good, and it's made better every year by the fact that it comes out at the same time as a really, really bad show.
Oh, Rings of
So-
Power.
Yes.
Last year was Rings of Power. This year it's The Acolyte. So essentially, like
God.
it comes out, and you're like, well, at least it's not that thing. Like it's brilliant strategy by HBO.
The Acolyte is so bad that I actually made an announcement on my show last week that I am not talking about Star Wars ever again on my show.
Ooh,
I'm done. I can't do it.
I don't blame
It
you.
hurts too much.
Mhm.
I'm not even.
But do you see what I'm talking about?
I do.
You're
You got to do
freaking out.
something about your mic, bro. You're choppy.
Yeah. Leave.
Jacked up. It's weird, man.
Yeah. Leave and come back because you're
Yeah.
having internet ipsies.
Yeah, I mean,
Started
the Acolyte is so bad. I stopped doing the watch parties. I mean, I'll put myself through that punishment, but I'm not putting my channel
Has anybody
members.
else started watching The Boys this season?
I have, yeah.
You know what? I never even started it in the first place. No one can ever believe that because I'm such a superhero guy. But the first
It's
couple
hard to
episodes
watch.
just didn't speak to me. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's to me it's gotten a lot. It's good. I really like it. I know this season's really heavy handed with the Trump stuff, and I don't care for that so much. But I think at least the show has been consistent, if nothing else.
I tried to watch it and it just didn't. It just wasn't my thing. It looked like it was pretty well put together, but I was just like, it's just not
It is
for me.
often a little too much for me, and I find myself going like
I
this.
was like, it's all right. I'm kind of done.
Get what's going on. I don't really need to see it.
There was a lot of male nudity in that show.
Yeah.
especially lately for some reason. Don't know why.
They started doing that in Game of Thrones in
So-
latest seasons as well. So
Yeah, it's like they won't show any women naked, but all the guys for some reason are just walking
Yeah.
around.
well, that's the
You
way
know,
entertainment is
full
now. You're not
frontal.
allowed to show female sensuality and sexiness is no longer allowed. But the male
male
gaze
gaze,
is
you
not
mean?
wanted, but the female gaze and the gay male gaze, those are the ones that we have to chase now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why that Padawan in the Acolyte was shirtless and shouldn't have been.
Yeah, the gays.
Oh, golly.
Yeah. That's it. He's right.
I don't know one straight woman that found that attractive.
It was pathetic. It was like seeing your little brother trying to flex.
No, but they didn't even use it as
That's funny.
like an eye candy moment. They used it as like a moment to like rip on him, like a moment for him to be embarrassed. It's because that character exists just so that the strong female characters on the show have a black
Punching
man
bag.
to consistently bash and tell him he's terrible.
Hey, Retro.
Hey,
Retro.
RNG.
Hi, guys.
Oh, good to see you. So let me ask you.
Love the shine.
Yes, here for Lorena.
She looks great.
I love it. I love it.
I got to ask a question because we have two ladies on the panel now. So what's the difference between that moment in this ridiculousness and Geralt in the tub?
Are you really asking the difference between Henry Cavill and that guy from the Acolyte?
I'm just saying.
Wow.
Dude, I'm straight, and I can tell you. Come on, man. Like that.
Right.
Everything.
All right. Man, look, Beetle's still working on his hair.
Man, this takes a long time to look this pretty. You know what I mean?
Dude, are you gonna? I really wish your audio was working. But what I also wish is that are you gonna get up to kid and play height? I mean, are we going for like the 6 inches up here?
Huh?
I'll stop talking.
Are you going with the kid and play haircut eventually?
My audio sound bad?
Man, turn off the mic. Just freestyle, bro.
What about this? Is this looking good?
Yeah, that's good, but your audio keeps clipping out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You look like SpongeBob SquarePants with no translation, bro.
Culture. This right here. This is called the anti-gravity do. You know what I mean? I just want to see how high it can go. You know what I mean? It's the anti-gravity fatal do. You know? It's not really kid and play. You know, it do got the flex top action, but as you can see, I got the curls going on. You know, the beautiful luscious curls. You know, it takes a long time to make this look excelente. You know, to make it look beautiful. You know.
Now put that energy into your audio, and you'll be okay.
I feel like telling Kurt there's a transmission problem going on.
I was eating Doritos and last night with this mic. I think some Dorito flakes somebody got into it or something. I don't know what's going on.
You sound like Robert Kennedy Jr.
Check your settings in StreamYard and see if that tries to fix it.
Or maybe use your laptop mic.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why. I know why it's messing up there.
You got it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You get it and you let me know. We're going to go through these member chats and super chats real quick. So let's see. We've got an Unexpected Fire who's been a member for 27 months. Thank you so very much, my dear. Says, I knew I was saving this for something. Happy 8K. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, dude, you've been around a long time. Thank you so much for how long you've been a member. Got to have the OG club eventually in here. And I love it. Mr. Butt Crack Media for $2 Canadian. So a toonie and 2 loonies. Congrats on 8K at Reina Creole. Well, thank you. And thank you for making me crack up every time I see that avatar, dude.
Do I sound better?
No, you're still clipping.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still clipping a little bit.
Oh!
Base Dave 5, the Reina Creole memberships. Thank you so very, very much.
Nice.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love it. You guys are like so generous. Don't get me wrong. I love super chats. But I love it when there's all that green and all these channel members, get memberships and stuff. So I love it, love it, love it, love it.
I didn't know we were going for like a space theme. Next time I'm gonna show up in like a astronaut helmet or something here because we're all going space tonight.
Anybody watching Strange New Worlds?
The audio's good.
It is
Yeah.
good.
All right.
It is good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no one normal's watching Straight New Worlds or Train.
Well, I'm not normal, sir. Okay, the normal went out the door when I was born in 1986. Okay, normal is done.
Wow.
Normal is not fun anyway.
Dude, I was 16 years old when you were born, bro.
Ain't that the show where they were like singing and all that? They did a musical episode
of what?
Which one?
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, they had the dancing. They had the dancing Klingons.
What?
That's the, bro.
Yeah, they did a musical episode of Strange New Worlds.
Hold on, wait. No, don't act like yes, that does happen in Star Trek.
No,
yes, it does.
How?
Y'all didn't know?
They always have the goofy episodes in Star Trek at some point. The triples.
Musical episode where they were.
Okay, what about the triples? What about the triples, sir?
It's totally different, bro. That was
kitsy.
Yeah, the triples were an alien life form that invaded the ship. That's part of the coin. This was
little fuzzy things. I mean,
Nolan.
Mr. Spock.
Nolan, you the only one that's a little crazy like your boy Beetle J. You got the same do as me, so we connected right now. So let these people know when it comes to Star Trek, you're gonna have a goofy episode in there somewhere, somehow.
I'm more surprised that y'all didn't know about it till now, besides you. Like, if this happened like a year ago, I thought everybody knew about the musical episode.
No, something in my brain said don't pick that up. I mean,
some people tried not to know about it, Nolan.
Kitsy, and then dancing Klingon. No. Klingons can do Shakespeare in the original Klingon. That's cool. All right.
We talking about a series where the Klingons don't even look the same in each series. So can we really go by Klingon lore?
Why wasn't it a musical episode? Like, what was the science behind that? Was there a reason for it? Was there a reason why it was a musical episode?
Man, they always have goofy episodes in Star Trek somewhere, somehow.
This is not a goofy episode. It's a musical. I want to know why there was a musical episode of Star Trek.
Right, because like with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there was a reason why they had a musical episode.
That's what I'm talking about. With the Buffy musical and the Xena musical, it worked within the confines of the show and the universe that was established.
Right.
Star Trek, which is so based in actual science so much of the time, we're now in the era where they're doing musical episodes and they're talking about time crystals. It's apples to oranges there.
Let me ask the people that this criticizing the musical episode. Did you watch the entire series? Exactly.
The entire series of what?
Of Strange New Worlds. Did you watch the whole series?
Bro, it's already been established. No, I'm not watching that shit.
Alrighty then. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
This is what I like about Fatal. He knows he's wrong on so many levels, but yet he still persists.
Culture, look, sometimes I just want to put you in a little sometimes want to put you in a little box because you remind me of the dad in Teen Wolf when he finally realized that his dad was a werewolf too. I like you, man. I just want to. You need to make a plushie of yourself, sir. You know what I mean with the beard and.
I would love a plushie of myself. In fact, I think that would be great. I think I could definitely sell that. But you know what would help me sell that is being in a Ninja Blast comic.
Oh wow!
That's gonna cost you. Cool. Hey, that's gonna cost you.
I'm one of your biggest fans, dude. I pull it out every time.
Oh well. Oh Lord.
Speaking of Ninja Blast, since we on the Lorena Awesome Show, where she's going from 8,000 all the way to 1 million, check out Ninja Blast 2. It's coming soon to Indiegogo, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the shameless plug, but I had to do it.
Oh, no. I already shamelessly plugged Ninja Blast before you actually got on the show, so it's all right.
Oh, okay. Thank
It's all
you.
right.
Thank you.
I got
And
you.
Rachel Nerd Girl, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm gonna be quiet now because I feel like I'm talking too much and I'm getting on people's nerves. So I'm going to quit talking.
No, it's
Well,
okay.
I know.
We're just glad we can actually hear you, bro. Please, by all
Yeah.
Oh, y'all can hear me now?
means, it's refreshing. Yes, it's refreshing
Okay.
to be able to hear you. Man.
Not like
You might
every
almost,
other nanosecond.
And shout out to Verbal Riot. I don't know what it is about this guy, but he look cool. He sing cool. His background is cool, and I want to be like him.
No, you don't. I get canceled a lot.
Jay's making my night right now.
Bro, I get canceled a lot, and people hate my guts when I have interaction with them. They be like, "That Fatal J guy is not who he turned out to be." So we can relate, you know.
I would be a lot more further in life if I didn't get canceled as much as I do. So when I come on Lorena's show, I'm on my best behavior. Believe it or not.
Got you. Lorena, I'm supposed to be on my best behavior, and I'm supposed to stop talking.
Oh, well, we'll see.
You must be doing something right if you get canceled today, though. You know what I mean? It's like you just can't
true.
be that. Yeah, you can't be that person anymore where you're just like, oh, I'll just do whatever you want me to do. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. We're all supposed to have independent thought. We should have freedom of expression.
You can for $400.
In theory, you're completely correct, but in reality, trust me, people get a lot further if they just play the game, right? Unfortunately, I don't play the game that well. That's why Disney no longer invites me to anything, and Warner Brothers has me on the do not invite list for sure.
Listen, I just got a strike on my channel for telling the truth. Shout out to Double A for that support on that. Just got a strike on my channel. I cannot put up any videos or anything. I could understand if I said something that was a lie or wrong or whatever. I told the truth.
That's the problem. Is I won't lie. Like I'm not going to sit there and just because you give me nice things, I'm going to say nice things about you. So
like a $400 gift basket to what is it that
Tiana's.
Yeah, to actually say that this crap is crap is real. Check this out. I love this. It's so damn true.
I used to love that movie.
It's so freaking true.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Lorena, this is my new favorite video.
Mine too.
I love this. I can't claim credit for it. No, I didn't. It's on Twitter. Let me see. Who's the guy who did it? Let's see. It is, I don't know, based theme park memes.
Wow, that's wild, man.
I have to retweet this and save it and download it forever.
Now, Lorena, give me the synopsis because I know your video's been blowing up about the Tiana thing. Now, what's up with the Tiana? That's a new ride at Disney?
Well,
you call it a ride?
It's
yeah. Well, let's see. It's like a software upgrade that failed.
You know when a food brand changes their logo and everybody's just really mad at them? It's like that.
Actually, I was just going to say it's more like a Microsoft operating update.
Oh.
I would say it's less like when a food label changes its label and more like when you went from Coke to New Coke.
Ooh, yeah, he's not wrong.
Oh.
Yeah,
he's not wrong at all.
There's a video out there.
When Goofy went on it, he was like, "Oh, gosh, they did a ride more goofy than me." Oh,
that's a good impression.
Nice.
I mean, this started traction because when Ron and I went on it during the annual pass holder previews, there were so many logs backing up that you were hitting the one in front of you. So I'm pretty sure somebody's going to wind up calling Morgan and Morgan.
The ride was constipated. The ride was constipated.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Hey, on that note, I gotta get I have to get going because
nah, man, don't go.
I have so much work left to do tonight to get certain things out for tomorrow. So
man, work suck. Call in, bro. Call in.
Well, Ron, thank you so much for being here. You want to let the folks know where they can find you?
Follow the Bradley's Fun. We've got Tiana's vlogs. We've got Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, NASA. Tomorrow's something brand new. It's just local Orlando Sunrail on one of the best restaurants I've ever eaten in my entire life called Zorba's Greek Restaurant. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was fantastic. So that's gonna come out. And and I'm gonna be doing with culture, not with culture, but I'm going to do a 10 o'clock show that'll lead into culture's 10:45 every day. So
I can't wait.
But with completely different, my stuff will be all about parks. Culture does something completely different to me, so it's kind of cool. But it's going to blend nicely.
Wait, Zorbas, isn't that where the water temple was in Zelda?
It might have been Zorba. I'm sure it's a name used for a lot of things, but there was Zorba the Greek with what was his name? Famous actor. I can't think of it now, but anyway, I gotta get going, guys. Congratulations on the 8K, Lorena.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
It was Anthony Quinn.
Quinn, yeah. Ciao, everybody.
All
Hey,
right,
peace,
see
brother.
you.
All
See you
right,
around.
you're awesome. Yeah, do
Let's
check
see.
out
I'm
his-
in a laughter coma.
He should have called in, man.
No. Dude, it's YouTube. You can't call into YouTube, Jay.
Yeah, he should have called in.
Hey, Susan, I'm feeling kind of under the weather. I gotta take the day off.
Well, we have a Jumbo here for $5. Says no one wants to see Jay cuddling ever.
Are we
Jay
sure
cuddling
about
culture
that? Do
ever.
we need to take a
Where-
vote?
Culture, I got something to say to you, man. You ready? Get ready, man. This is going to be real serious right here. All right, here you go. Thank you for being a friend.
Dun, 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 dun.
Down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a friend and a confidant. Da-da-da-da-da. And when you feel the heartache, what y'all laughing for? Say a little to be to you, and the card inside will say, thank you for being a friend.
Thank you. At my age, Golden Girls makes a lot of sense.
Hey, I swear on everything. I was on Temu, right? Okay. And I saw a rapper chain, and they had all the Golden Girls on there. I'm getting it.
You should.
Because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show all my friends. I'm just gonna show all the people in the world that we can all be friends through Golden Girls. You don't realize how important Golden Girls was to the culture. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know.
That's
Just,
true.
we just lost Betty White. Just about 2 years ago now.
We lost them all. They all gone.
Yeah,
They
but
all
right before her birthday, man, and that was going to be one heck of a party. It really was.
Well, speaking of golden, we've got Andre from Midnight's Edge. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing excellent. Thanks for having me, and congratulations on the milestone. So glad to see it reached.
Oh, thank you so
What's that, Andre? I don't know if you remember me, but I'm sorry for having that fight.
I do. I remember you.
I'm sorry for having that fight with that dude on your channel, man. What was his name? Dang, what was that? The Popcorn Planet Man. What's his name?
Well, there's a few.
Andy
of them. Well,
Signore?
never mind.
Yeah.
It happens.
Look, man, Andre, I respect you, brother, and I'm sorry for fighting Andy Signore on your channel in front of thousands of people.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But you know what? In YouTube, there's so many beefs between so many people.
I mean, I don't have beef with him now, but at the time, I did with him, and we hashed it out, But I was like, dang, I disrespected Midnight Edge, and Tom, he already hate my guts anyway. You know what I mean? So it's all love.
I don't know that made it any better. No, but as I said, like there are so many people that have so many beefs. Like don't worry about bygones be bygones.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I'm
We're in
glad
some
to be
anime
here.
arcs
And,
right
how
now.
are
We're seeing the
things?
conclusion of some beef and stuff. We're seeing huge celebrations. Like this is an important episode right here.
That's right. Yeah, this is a
This
very
is what a
special episode.
party is, Yeah, people show up and ooh, you remember?
Feel the love.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. We're gonna hash that out. We're gonna hash that out.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Yeah, there you go.
we just got a huge super chat.
Oh, shout out to Junk 3PO real quick before you announce Junk 3PO's super chat. Junk, it is official. We have switched you with Chillmonger.
With what?
The heck you
What?
talking
Okay.
about, Beetle?
I miss. I
Drunk
miss.
know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm just
He
gonna
know-
pretend that I know what he was talking about, like when they talked about the cookout on NXT a couple weeks ago.
There you go. There's a little
There
wrestling.
you go. Well, thank you,
Somebody got
Dead Man
that.
Walking, for that not super chat, excuse me, member chat. Been a member for 39 months. D, you've been with this channel a long, long time. Wonderful friend to the channel. Congrats on your success. Thank you for all you do. And that Mrs. and I call you our friend. Sorry to miss celebrating with you tonight, but have fun. It's all right. You guys are going out there for Clobby's memorial service.
Yes.
So please do pass on my condolences.
Yeah.
Clobby was awesome. I miss him. I'm so glad I got the chance to interview him not once, but twice. So check out my got to go. I forget which some are videos, some were live streams, but Clobby helped me go through my comic collection that Tom forgot, and I got to find out all kinds of stuff that I didn't have before. And thank you, Jay, for that $50 super chat. Thank you so
I think
much.
now you gotta play
appreciate
the
it.
Splash Mountain meme again. I think now to thank him for it.
You know what? Yeah.
Thank you for being a friend.
I think I should. Here we
Hey,
go.
that $50.
This is so bad. This will never not be funny.
That was a green screen effect.
Drunk 3PL, you owe me $50 too, because remember back in the day you used to talk about my mom every day? You talked about my mom every time I was on the live stream. This is like really the first live stream ever that you never talked about my mom. Please stop it, sir, because I'm really going through it.
There you
I
go.
did not know that. Okay.
I like how every time I joke on here, it gets completely quiet like I'm serious.
I was just waiting to say something. First I have to congratulate you, Lorena, on all of your amazing coverage, especially on everything that has to do with all the horror that's been going on with the Disney theme parks, with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Like, I've never been that much into parks myself. I've only been to Disney World once, and I regret that I didn't go to Splash Mountain that one time because I was too young to understand the significance of it. And I really would like to thank you for all the amazing stories that you have shared of your connection with all of the characters that are associated with the Song of the South and Splash Mountain. And it's just so infuriating that Disney has no understanding of this, whether because they don't want to, or if there's some other reason that they just don't understand the cultural significance of the characters that they're erasing right here. And just listening to your stories of what these things actually mean, as I'm not going to claim to be a folklorist myself, but I am someone that is infinitely fascinated by folklore from all over the world and what Disney is doing here. However misguided it may be, or if they think they're doing good, something against it also says, no. They're just erasing folklore. The only examples of this particular folklore in live action. And you have done such an amazing job of highlighting that. So I just want to congratulate you on that and offer my respect and appreciation for it.
Yeah,
I agree.
Thank you so much, Andre. That means a lot coming from you.
Not just that, Larry. If I can piggyback onto that, you also helped expose the fact that they took away something they thought was offensive and replaced it with something more offensive with all the salt mine stuff. I think a lot of people that went over their heads, and you shone a light on that. And I think that's very important people to realize. They took away something that they said that they claimed had connections, to horrible things in the past, and in turn gave you something with a direct, reference to a horrible, horrible thing from the past.
And made light of it.
Come on down to the salt mines, y'all.
I
was like, I can't believe this.
Well, that's unfortunately what happens when you have some people that I submit are among the most racist people on this planet today, who claim that we are so virtuous and we are so good and we will help these poor people that need our help because they can't do anything. They need all these handouts. They're going to be so offended that they have like this tyranny of low expectations, like you wouldn't believe, which to me is in many ways the worst form of racism. And they're so guilty of it. And just look what they do, how they rewrite history and just do this cultural desecration and this new thing that's replacing Splash Mountain. From what I've seen of it, it's like, what an unintended horror story is that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. You tore down an icon and replaced it with corporate garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you spoke up, Reina. I'm glad that you spoke up because a lot of people, like you
that's
said,
what I mean. Like
a lot
no
of people
one
would
else
just go. They were just going with it. You know, it's like these people are telling us as Black people what we should be ashamed of, and all too often, it's our past, it's our legacy. You know, and they act like what we've come through is somehow shameful, but the strength that it took to come through and to be artistic and to give something that's lasting, that in itself is a triumph, you know, to those people who lived through those days and everything. But unfortunately, not enough of us speak up. So definitely respect to you for speaking up.
What you say is shameful to what? Be slaves?
Yeah, well, the whole thing, you know, to be slaves.
I mean, if it weren't for slaves, America wouldn't be built. So I mean, slavery is just something triumphant. You know what I mean? Black people shouldn't be ashamed of slavery, because if it weren't for slavery, you wouldn't have America.
Actually, you wouldn't have pretty much anything because slavery goes far beyond that. I mean, America is not the stalwart of racism you've been led to believe. If anything, that's one of the places where slavery actually ended, by the only civilization, Western civilization, that turned out to be repulsed by it and ended it. Every major society in history has been built on the backs of slaves.
Yes, sir.
Not necessarily black slaves. I mean, we had slaves in Norway back in the day. You know who were our slaves? Other Norwegians that were slightly weaker. Also, we went to Eastern Europe and we took the Slavic people, the slaves. That's where the name comes from. So
I never knew that.
It's the Slavic people. That's where the name comes from. It's nothing to do with black people. It's other white people. That's where the name slave comes from. The Slavic people, the slaves.
Yeah. So in England, you have slaves.
When they needed some cheap labor, they went to Eastern Europe and they took some other white people from there, the Slavic people. And that's the name that they gave themselves. They're just like, hey, let's go get some slaves. They call it trell originally, but that slave stuck. So that's the story of that. So you've had it throughout history in every single culture, including in Africa. There were masters of enslaving one another there as well. And then to then single this one particular movie and the folklore in it and try to make that kind of like the embodiment of something truly horrible in the past of world history. And then you singled out, okay, this is after slavery actually ended in one of the first societies that did end slavery. This movie isn't a symbol of slavery. It's a symbol of the end of slavery.
What's that movie?
You just censor the folklore associated with it, like Brother Bear and Brother Bunny. They shouldn't be censored. There should be more movies with them. They should be right there alongside Mickey and Uncle Donald, or Uncle Scrooge and Donald. That's what they should.
Because the film Song of the South is actually the film Beetle, and I had a watch party for that on my channel because I couldn't figure out why people were calling this film racist when my grandparents sat down and we watched that, and I watched it, and I was that's the movie.
With the black guy dancing.
Yeah, he's telling the Burr Rabbit stories.
Oh yeah, that's a dope movie.
But these are the stories that my grandmother told my dad.
Well, see, the problem is, Lorena, Lorena, the problem is people be trying to tell you what's racist for blacks. You know what I mean? You don't tell me what's racist. I decide what's racist. You know what I mean? And seeing that movie, that was a dope movie back in the day. Like you said, you enjoyed it with your family. I enjoyed that movie when I was little. Don't tell me what's racist. I decide what's racist. You know?
I'd like to add more to that, if you don't mind.
Girl.
I notice a lot of young individuals that are minorities will find these movies and see these movies and say, "Oh, that's not how things are today. That must be racist. It must be racist. That's not the way." That there was a different language being used during that time period. They don't understand that wasn't a bad thing. That was just the language that was being used. There's also the fact that when we watched the movie, we understood that the people in the movie weren't slaves in the movie, but they immediately associated that with history instead of actually looking at the movie, watching the movie, analyzing the movie, and learning about exactly what's going on. They automatically snap to a decision that it was racist and it's depicting people of color in a lower class. Why don't you actually look at the material and learn about the characters and understand what's happening here before you make those snap judgments? They do this for movies like Gone with the Wind. They want to see African Americans or African people doing manual labor. And it's like that is just a character in a movie. First of all, I feel okay, we just detach ourselves from that. And also, this is just telling a story. It's not, it doesn't mean that it has to be accurate, but it is just telling a story of people in this snippet or snapshot of history. It's a historic film. So this is a lot of people are just jumping to the conclusions without actually watching the films. A lot of them haven't watched these movies.
Well, and
Retro, what you're seeing now also they get hung up. Go on, bro.
So I was going to say they're ignoring actual history and actual historical depictions of people to make up fake history by making Anne Boleyn black or making Cleopatra black. They're trying to just create new history for people instead, because somehow portraying things, the way they actually were, the triumphs of the past, things people rose above, for some reason that's problematic now.
Yeah, it's very disrespectful to the people who came through the civil rights movement, because of course there was slavery, but then what came after that? There was history there, and people want to act like history is just starting with the current generation. I think that was a great point that you made there, because that's what it is. They don't want to acknowledge what came before. So that's the reason why we have to keep going for this okie doke. Oh, we got the first black person in Star Wars or something like that. No, we came through all of this. We already saw all of this stuff before, but they let these liberals come out and tell them these lies that it never happened before. And, these young ones who haven't been around and their parents haven't exposed them to it, they go for that and they get their backs up and they get offended by every little thing. But there's a lot of dignity that came from, I guess, the point from slavery to where we are today. There were a lot of heroes that were unsung that took those steps that that they don't even know about.
Exactly.
The British, for one, the British were the ones that ended slavery. I mean, they actually went to war and they largely ended it in Africa as well. And then America followed suit afterwards.
Yeah.
There's many unsung heroes there. And also, just to add to your point, Mark, was a great point. You saying that they don't acknowledge history. I'd say it's actually worse. They do acknowledge it, but they reframe it, they rewrite it, and then they judge it from the lens of their extreme philosophy and ideology from right now. And then they use that to judge the past. Yeah. I look forward to the day when they will be judged, and that's not going to take much, because they may believe themselves on the right side of history, but it's funny how they do the same things and say the same things, and they're basically the same as the ones that we universally consider the most evil people who ever lived. And those are the people that attack history and try to rewrite that.
Mm.
Yeah, and you know something, we do ourselves a great disservice by not acknowledging those accomplishments and those unsung heroes, because that's the reason why the kids are the way they are. You know, you see the kids running wild up and down the streets and stuff. They feel terrible about themselves because they don't know that they came from something that was worth a shit. You know what I mean? It's like they need to understand you did come from. There was a period, I think, in the 50s and the 60s where the Black community was the most prosperous. Families were intact. You know, then the 70s and definitely the 80s happened, and it put the ball rolling. Crack happened, you know, the welfare state, you know, things like that. And all of a sudden, families were broken, and it's led to what we see today, you know, where we have these broken families and, you know, the fathers are not there and everything. Historically speaking, back in the day, it wasn't like that. If they learned that, they would know this is not who you are by nature. You're better than this. So you can carry yourself better than that. Why do I have to listen to hip hop now? And it's like, oh, you know, oh my God, you know, they just sound so ignorant.
No, but
like, bro,
that's your culture now. And you should accept that culture, because if you don't accept that culture, you don't like yourself, you hate yourself, and that's not true.
You didn't like Amandla Stenberg's rap song the other day?
Oh God!
Oh, you mean the Danish girl?
I wish a lot of hip hop was that good.
Yeah, I know. It's
Some
kind
of
of
the stuff I'm
freaking
hearing.
mumble rappers that are out there. But kind of to add on to this, it really angers me that you have a certain class of people who want to tell Black people, guess what? You know, you just have slavery and now. And this is why I love researching my family's history, because one, not all of them were slaves. So this whole narrative that all Black people were slaves in this country, not true. They were not all slaves in this country. You had several classes of those who were free, especially in New Orleans. Jean de Colère, they were free. They also had slaves too. Just sent from one of those. But
well, Lorena, people don't want to. Well, Lorena, this is the thing about it. People just don't want to read books, because if you if you go back in history, the richest man that ever lived, and yes, this is backed up by facts and books, was an African man named Mansa Musa. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this guy, but this guy, he was so wealthy in gold. He bailed a lot of countries out of bankruptcy, and they enforced, I believe he was like in the hundreds of billions. He had an entire empire called the Mali Empire. But like I said, people don't want to go back in history and actually read a book. You know what I mean? Black people have a large history opposed to slavery. Slavery was just the pit stop, but it goes way back thousands of years before slavery. It's just like my boy Andre said, you got evil people that rewrite history.
Yeah.
But also that time period after, you know, slavery, Reconstruction, that's a period that I have studied over and over and over again. And looking at the documents, you had a class of Black people that several of them were, you know, were slaves, and they were former slaves. 1870 census, many of them could not read or write. By the time the 1880 census, a lot of them could read and write within 10 years. And you look and you see how many of them open businesses. You see how many of them own their own land, have their own houses, all of that. To go that quick is really something to, you know, to like celebrate. I look at some of the documents from some of my second great grandparents, you know, it's like they were a slave. And in 1870, they couldn't read or write. By like 1890, they had land given to them by the government, by coincidentally, by a Republican president due to the Homestead Act, had their own farms, all of that, building wealth. It's an amazing, incredible story. And I wish people would talk about that more in Hollywood, but that'd be a problem. So I see some folks have to drop out. Andre, Marvin, let's see. I think culture, you guys have, all three of you guys have to roll on out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, duty calls.
Before Coach Lee. Now it's time to say goodbye to all my family. MICKEYMOUSE. Hold on, I should have did that better. CULUTURECANSA. I don't know what else to really say. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our family. CULTURECANSA.
Awesome. Thank you very much. You guys are the best. I had a lot of fun. And Jay,
I spelled casino wrong and then nobody stopped me.
I think it's great. I felt properly serenaded. But once again, congratulations, Lorena. You truly deserve it. And keep going, lady, because I have a feeling better days are coming faster and faster for you. So well done.
Thank you, Culture. Thank you, Mark, for being here. Thank you for being here, Andre. I am so thankful for the chance to be on Midnight.
I would have loved to stay longer, but sadly, time zones being what they are, that's going to be difficult. But again, I'm glad to be able to pop in. And again, congratulations on your continued success. Keep on being awesome. Keep on doing what you do. Keep on spreading the truth, especially about these things that you know so well, where I defer to you on the importance of these characters and this folklore. So I'm just disgusted by what they've done, and people need to know. So yeah, keep it up.
All right, thank you so much, folks. Make sure
Andre, nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yes. What?
Andre, I think I speak for a lot of people when I say I listen to your videos or watch your videos just to listen to your voice, man. I love your accent. I love it.
Thank you.
Talk about anything. You sound so dignified.
I do try, but thanks. I really do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Lorena, on the way out, if I could just say, as somebody new to the space, as somebody new to making channels and whatnot, the greatest joy that I've had in this entire experience has been meeting folks like yourself, people that I've become friends with, people that I have come to know fairly well over the last couple of weeks, and just watching your success brings me such joy. And onward and upward, you are just a treasure in this world. Thank you, my friend, for allowing me to be here.
Thank you. You're gonna make me cry. Thank you.
Now, Mark's gonna say my accent's not soothing, right, Mark? My accent's not soothing enough for you. All right,
bro. Sound like you from Jersey,
too, man. Yeah, you got that street abrasive kind of,
Yeah.
I like it though.
Yeah. We all got our crosses to bear.
See you, Marvin. Good seeing you, man.
Everyone,
thanks so much, Marvin. Take care, Andre.
Take care.
Oh my gosh, I love this community. I love you guys giving all these kudos to me. I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun doing all this. Thank you, Jay. Congrats, 10K on the way. Thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Mike has bad knees. Member for 16 months. Congratulations on the continued success. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, my dear. I appreciate that. Mark Daly, another channel member, says they destroyed a monument to African American folklore, replaced it with a slave-run salt mine, all in the name of diversity. How positively Orwellian. Thank you, Lorena, for calling these liars out. Well, you're welcome, and they're being extremely disingenuous with doing this attraction. There's no redeeming quality whatsoever to it, and the fact that you have people out here, who want to keep getting their media access to Disney, keep talking this up like it's the greatest thing ever and calling people racist because they don't particularly like it. Yeah, y'all as quiet as ants peeing on cotton right now. Yeah.
What?
I've heard nothing. Oh, you haven't heard that before?
No, I've never heard that.
You've never heard that before?
No, and my life was better before I did. Now I'm gonna get. Oh man,
you're not from the South, bro. That's from the South.
Yeah,
he ain't from the South.
I actually do have on one side of my family, I have some heritage from the South, so there is some there. So I guess that's my fault.
You ever heard of this? When you get in trouble, you heard somebody get in trouble. He don't slid down a razor blade and landed in the alcohol river. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
I actually haven't.
I've heard of getting the switch, but not that.
Sounds painful.
That's the South.
That's the South for you. I mean, we don't play. Hey, Paulie, how you doing?
Hello, Paulie.
What's up, Paulie?
Thank you.
What's up, Paulie? Another person that hates my guts. How you doing, sir?
I'm a little bit in shock. I don't know. Shut up, Fatal. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a little bit in shock
He
with
doesn't either.
verbal
It's
riots with your tank top.
Oh, tank top?
No, verbal riot.
You muted, brother.
You're on mute, bro.
No, I said my air conditioning is out. So yeah.
Oh, I've been there.
It is hot up in here.
I've been there, bro. You man. At some point, you're probably gonna have to get your hotel room, man.
You know what? I'm getting pretty close to that.
Yeah, I've been there, bro. I've been there.
At least in LA, the temperature drops when the sun goes down. Here in Florida, the sun goes down, the temperature drops by maybe 3 points, and it's still hot and funky and nasty.
Yeah,
in Texas too. In Texas too.
So what's up, Reina?
What do we do before these things? We're such a soft generation now, man.
According to my grandparents, and thank you, Amanda, member for 23 months. Congrats on 8K. All hail to the Spice Queen. Well, thank you. According to my relatives from Florida, they would just have fans in the house blowing the hot ass air around and the screen doors, and they yell at you if you hold the screen door open too long because flies will come, in. You hang the laundry outside. You stay inside from 12 noon to 7.
Lorena, you had a grandma where if you leave the door cracked open, she'll say, "It's my damn door, letting all that cool air out of here." Do you got a grandma like that?
She would say that, but only after she took her house, she went through it at you. Like the chancla.
Yeah, no, they
I didn't know that. I just called it the house shoe because she has some deadly ass aim.
Yeah, they got good aim, like a boomerang aim.
Keep my screen door closed.
So funny that I didn't know today was your celebration, and I was like, "Hey, can you help me out and review this for me?" So that's cool. I saw you on air right now. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Probably when the next time you having a concert on your channel, because I mean those are extraordinary, man.
It's been a while. You know what we're actually doing is we're getting non-copyright songs that artist friends of mine they're not going to use or whatever that, and we're starting a music channel where we'll do sets. So basically nice. You're one video will be a couple hours long, and it's just music.
Oh, that's dope.
That's just gonna be a whole different other channel.
Paulie, we never did talk about this, and we were both hyped about this. And I don't want to throw the subject off, but okay. Did you have a good time watching Blue Beetle?
Oh yes, I love Blue Beetle. Absolutely. Yeah. Dante came that opening night.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was fun.
And I think what's happening is a lot of people just have discovered it on Max, because what I get over the last year and a half, since it's been out, is we're like, this is a good little film, a lot of fun. I wish I saw it in the theater, but it looks like it's getting a story continuation in I don't know if it's a series or if it's a movie, but it's going to be animated.
I remember Paulie, one time I was talking to Paulie, and I called the main character Jamie, and he went off on me. I was scared as freak. I was like, "Paulie, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to disrespect like that." He said,
I don't know who you're talking about, man. That's not me.
I'm making this stuff up, man.
That's not me.
I'm making this stuff up, man. I'm making it up.
That is
Funny,
not me.
yeah, I just to add because I know Paulie had talked about that film first, and then I found out about it, and I saw it in the theater, and I didn't think it was quite theater ready, but I'm just like, when that sucker drops on Max, it's gonna blow up because it really is a fun film. So I'm glad to hear they're going to be doing something else with that.
Yeah, that was just this past week. The executive producers will be the same guys that did the movie. I don't know if they're getting the same, the same actors to voice. But we'll see.
The kid from Cobra Kai, I think he did a great job with it. He's got a lot of.
He did.
You know what railed that movie very early on? It was the Batman is what did they say?
A fascist.
It's a
George
fascist,
Lopez
right?
line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because as usual, everybody grabbed that up and ran with it and everything. And,
yeah.
It just kind of like killed a lot of the buzz within the existing fandom. But I thought the movie was on point, man. Everything doesn't have to be a blockbuster. I thought it was a solid film.
It was fun. It was fun.
I liked it.
The thing too is that the audience only reacted to what they saw in the trailer. It's like, why did they put that in the trailer with no no context within the trailer? You have it at the end, people would be like, you see, so that turned a lot of people off. And
I think they underestimated just how sensitive we've become because of all of this stuff that's been going on. Because a line like that in itself doesn't have to be offensive, but when you put it in the context of what we've been dealing with for these last 5 years or so, sometimes you do have to read the room and be like, nah, they're a little bit uptight now. They might not.
I gave them a lot of flack for doing that in the trailer, because when I saw the film, the part where they go to the graduation and George Lopez's character, he's like, takes the balloon, is like, no, that might have a bug in it, and he throws it out. I said, if that was in the trailer, that would have been perfect, because you have context. Because I laughed hysterically when that happened. I'm like, why didn't they use that? In the trailer?
And what's so funny is, like, compared to the last year of superhero films, man, Blue Beetle, Shakespeare.
True.
Oh, really?
God, these movies have been horrible. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put that on my list to watch.
What up, Unzo? I want to say I got two things to say. Mark, you had something to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead, bro.
I got two things to say. One is a statement and one is a question. The first statement: this is House of Dragon. Anybody been watching House of Dragon? I don't want to ruin it for nobody.
Love it.
Everybody.
Yeah. I still haven't seen it, but go ahead. That's my own fault.
Okay, this is the statement. The Queen really been getting it in ever since old boy died. Oh. I'm talking about, to her fact, she been getting it in so much she had to scrub real good in the bath, because back then people didn't really bath like that. And didn't nobody notice that she been getting it in a lot, like saving for lost times.
Almost every scene she's in.
I believe they also cut one of her sex scenes out too.
They did, yeah.
So she had more. She had more.
She had more.
Yeah, and I like the reason why they say they didn't put it in there. They said that particular scene wasn't teaching us any more about the characters. And I was like, okay, it sounds like they're in the right headspace to make sure we get the right stuff on screen.
My second thing is, everybody was kind of saying it was lackluster with blood and cheese. But my adrenaline was up when they were sneaking through the castle. Wasn't nobody adrenaline up when they were sneaking through the castle?
It was really good.
That was tense.
Yeah, I think the reason why some people were upset is that it's not as savage as it is in
it's supposed to be more brutal with the babies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
at least 5 times.
But look, the red wedding messed me up. I don't need to go through that again. Okay? That's too much.
No, you know what? It's not even so much the blood of it. From what I understand, there was a line there that I thought was rather deep, because the queen, or who was she, a princess or whatever, she had to choose between the kids. and she chooses one, but then they go on and kill the other one, but not before telling the one that they didn't kill, your mama wanted you dead. Right?
Yes.
Now, see, that's the kind of thing from a story point of view. That's some rich stuff, you know. And I imagine in the book they probably did a lot with that. Like, what does it do to your psyche if you're that kid and you're in a position where your mama said kill him? No, and they didn't. So that's kind of like what you were talking about with Dune. You know, it's like they took certain liberties, but it kind of had the narrative suffer for it a little bit at the end.
But wasn't the in the book there were two sons? It wasn't a boy and girl.
It was two sons.
Yeah.
And the relationship between the mom and the surviving son was never the same afterwards.
I haven't read the book.
You
so
see what I'm saying?
it created a division.
All right, Mark, I get you.
It's psychological stuff. That's really.
I actually was pretty bored with the first episode.
But see, that's Mark. That's good.
Really
Sorry,
boring.
pardon.
That's all right. I just thought it was really boring. The first episode.
Okay. Oh, you didn't like the ending?
It was okay. It just took forever to get there, and I just thought it was a lot of people talking, a lot of people that I just didn't really, have interest in. I wanted to see Rhaenyra, and especially with that cliffhanger at the end of season 1. But it's all right. I mean, that's fine. It wasn't terrible.
That's kind of like that's like the Dune situation, Mark. See, I don't know the lore when it comes to House of Dragon, so I'm just rocking with whatever I'm rocking with. But see, it's funny when you know the books and the lore, it's a totally different spectrum. Because I remember Abu Nas was talking about that. He said he wasn't all the way satisfied with that ending. But to me, my heart was pumping like, is they gonna get caught? They just walked in front of the king. I was heart pumping, excited, Well, so I can understand both ways,
Yeah, because when you have a book, you don't have the limits that a visual medium would put on you. So you have much more freedom to create certain scenarios. So the film is never going to 100% be just like the book, just because of the restrictions that it puts on you. That's why I always tell people, if there's a book that a film is made from, go back and read the book, because that's what I did with the Harry Potter books. Because after the third movie, I guess Goblet of Fire, I'm watching that and I could tell there was stuff missing.
I would say this: the only adaptation that I've actually seen come straight out of the book, and I'm talking about line for line from the book, was a comic book movie called Sin City. Have anybody seen Sin City?
Oh yeah.
It's been years.
Yeah. Sin City.
That's the only thing comic book wise or fictional wise. And I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings, but even how did I forget the director's name for Lord of the Rings?
Peter Jackson.
Even Peter Jackson wasn't 100% with the movies, so that's how it is,
I love those. Those. Well, let's see. We got some super chats here. Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU, and Doctor Who. Yeah, Doctor Who is trash. Thank you for that $1 super chat. I appreciate that, my dear. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. And Vash, thank you for gifting those 10 Reina Creole memberships. I appreciate that so much. One of my fellow compatriots over there on that Park Place. I appreciate it. Thank you. What was I gonna say? Well, first of all, I did want to thank Paulie for having me, on his channel. I just can drop in and just hang out. And it's just like hanging out with family. So Absolutely. I've always been impressed with the kind of content that you have that niche, and you've just really made it blossom.
Come on now. Thank you. Listen, like I said, I did a video, guys, and I was like, I feel bad putting it up because I really take to task this Mexican director. And you it's so rare that someone of quality gets opportunities, blah 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 blah, but I just didn't like what they had to say. So I put the video together and I was like, I'm just being a little overly cautious. So I asked Lorena to, hey, would you mind watching this for me? So she, it's, I just, it would be too easy just to tear down, and that's just not my style.
Yeah.
The
video was great. I mean, you did a really good job breaking down, the argument that you had, and reference points of references for all of that. So you broke it all down, and it didn't come off as, how would I say? It doesn't come off as rage bait. It comes off as, this is the case that I've built, and these are the logical reasons why I'm saying what it is that I'm saying. Because after watching that video, and I think I messaged you, I said, I'm listening to this woman and she keeps talking about, white men, and I'm just like, oh, well, me looking at her, I'm like, well, lady, you look white too. So are you saying the problem
Yeah.
with your men, or is it that you mean Anglo? Because it's like that, those are two different things, because all of my ancestors of Latino descent on the census, okay, not all of them, like about 50% of them, their race is listed as Blanco, and they were known as white. So
sure,
I'm a little confused.
So, I mean, do you mind if I open it up to the panel?
No, go ahead.
So, guys and lady, what we're talking about is this director, Isa Lopez, and she's from Mexico. She did one of my favorite horror films the last 20 years called Tigers Are Not Afraid, and she got the green light to take over True Detective Night Country, starring Jodie Foster and this indigenous woman playing the other role. I didn't like the show. I thought it fell into a lot of the virtue signal traps. Storytelling got really bogged down. A lot of cheap, just a lot of cheap storytelling. So she put this up where she's being interviewed by the LA Times, and she says their world, meaning, and I'm assuming she means the American white male, their world is changing. They had Sopranos, they had Breaking Bad, they had True Detective. I took one of theirs, True Detective, that was all male, and I made it all female and multicolor. And I'm like, what the heck?
That does not sound cool.
I'm like, girl, do you understand what so
what you just said, right?
What you just said, and the fact that you're not from here, and she's very fair skinned Mexican from Mexico City, very, like I said. So I just kind of just broke down how I felt about it, because it's like this bubble over Hollywood that keeps getting thicker and thicker as their failures from the audience, because as an audience, the audience didn't like this TV show. Not as bad as Acolyte, but it's still in the 50 percentile. But it just seems that their bubble of resistance, of ignorance to their own woke garbage is getting thicker and thicker. I'm like, how can you say these things you're saying? So I was wondering if you guys had any thoughts on that.
Just from what you're describing, the language is very creepy. It just reminds me of like invaders, the body snatch invasion of the body snatchers. Like, we're gonna just take you out, but it's just really icky. How about make your own story? Like, why are you taking something and changing it, or what was the idea? Maybe okay, why don't we have an idea from a male and male story and make it female, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But is it really doing? Is it something that we're all? I have no idea about this. Is what I'm saying. Like, most people, I don't know anyone talking about the show. So
no, you're absolutely right.
So it's not getting out. It's not worthy.
It hasn't stayed with us in the
zeitgeist.
yeah. apps. Have you guys seen it? Did you guys see this latest season?
I didn't even hear. This is my
No,
first
I've
time
never
hearing
seen
about
it.
it.
No.
Know what you're talking about.
Listen, man, I'm glad if you tore her a new one or whatever, I think it was appropriate. You have to, first of all, you got to trust yourself, man. You know what I mean? It's like, like anyone can say anything about any one of us, but your intention. And intention is everything. So if you have the passion and you have the drive, the motivation to say what you got to say, then say it with no apologies. And this is what the problem is that's going on with Hollywood right now, because so many producers, directors, writers of different backgrounds are so busy trying to hijack what other people did and put their spin on it. They're not good artists. A good artist is not concerned with what somebody else did, or what, they want to do what they do. They want to represent their vision. Never mind hijacking somebody else's. And this is what I'm going to turn it into. You had this and you had that. Now I'm going to do it. It's my turn. And this is what I'm going to do with it. That's garbage. It's like you'll never get respect that way. This is the reason why the industry is laughing at us as it is. Trying to step into somebody else's shoes. Get your own shoes. God bless the child that's got his own. You know what I mean? And I totally believe in that. I know that a lot of people want to talk about being
Dante, you muted.
I'm about to say you muted, bro.
Oh yeah.
Not to cut you out, Mark. Not to cut you out, Mark.
I get what you're saying, but you guys have to understand, like, filmmakers aren't making decisions here. These are all activists. Pretty much every studio has been infiltrated. Okay, and I'm not talking tinfoil hat stuff. I mean, literally, it's filmmaking by committee now, right? You go into that room to pitch your show. They're going to break out their list. They're going to check their boxes. Do you have a black person? Do you have a gay person? Do you have a trans person? They're doing all this stuff. So the creativity part is the least part of filmmaking now.
What he just said really quick, I'm going to interject. In this example, this is exactly what happened to Issa's. She pitched a movie to HBO. Oh. They're saying, make it True Detective, Night Country. She's not a TV writer, which you could tell. And the lead actress who you wanted, like, written that you wrote it as a Latina, like a American character, you make her native. So they even changed that. You got to check. It's a different checkbox. And what are they rolling with? It's like, everything you just said. Everything you just said. Sorry, man.
I mean, it's not a coincidence that we're getting the garbage that we're getting, right? Think about this. Disney, right? Let's just take Disney, for example. Star Wars, Doctor Who, Marvel, Pixar are all trash. How do you have the 4 biggest properties in the world?
I agree.
And they're all failing.
I agree. I agree. Nolan, you had something to say too, didn't you?
Oh, no. It's like you have a sweet old lady as a neighbor. You see her sometimes at bingo night, and then you go into her house and take all of her beloved photos of all her relatives and grandkids, throw them in the trash, and put all your own photos of your kids up where they used to be, and then call it yours. Right. When you let people who are activists first control a company or are the leading factors in a company, their job is to look for what they view as problems. And if they're going to be able to find a problem in everything, then everything becomes a problem. And then next thing you know, everything has changed about it. And the whole thing is just turned into a pile of ash before you. It's sad.
So what I'm
saying, though, right? It might sound, idealistic and everything. And I'm sure it does, because it is. But these people who are running things, they are not the talented ones. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're controlling the talented ones. And the fact that we've laid down and let them do this because they got the money for so long, I guess, it's practically a lost cause. And you see this not just in Hollywood, but we were talking about hip hop. How do you think hip hop got the way it is, where everybody sounds all ignorant? It's because they're not allowed to be who they are. Yeah. Politicians, pharmaceutical. I mean, we just gave it all away. But those who have the talent, who have the know-how, at some point, there has to be some type of a pushback, because if not, then we've just lost it all. It's never going to get better, for the future generations.
I think the final pushback for me is I'm starting to just boycott stuff.
I told the Dark Council that I'm just so burnt out, bro.
But
I
I'm
mean,
vocal. But I'm vocal about it now.
I feel you, but this is the thing. I feel like silence is more stronger than anything.
But the silence of my money, they're not going to get my money anymore.
Yeah. I feel that. But what I'm saying is this: you can hate watch, you can talk about the show and break it down, but all you doing when you boil it down is you promoting it. I mean, I'm just keeping it real, and nothing against what people do on this panel. I respect what you do, make your money. But what I'm saying is, at the same time, when you talk about it, when you rage about it, you're helping them out. You keeping them trending. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I say I'm not talking about Star Wars on my show anymore.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing
Dude,
too.
Why coming down hard on Retro Nerd Girl? Dang.
Dang. See, man, that's why I like to talk, because I swear I said nothing against what people are doing. I have
Verbal and Dante. I'm on my show. I'm like now 1 week sober free of no more Star Wars at all.
Yeah,
because
it's not being made in good faith anymore.
I agree.
It's not being made in good faith. So I'm not going to sit there and
I mean,
any longer.
Dante, let me ask you a quick question, bro.
Fatal, I just want to make this point because I feel so strongly about this. I've always said that there's two ways of talking about these things, right? There's the way that you talk about where you talk about the plot and, like you said, the rage bait and all that stuff, and then you talk about the phenomenon around the show. You know what I mean? Like when I talk about it, I talk about the phenomenon around the show. Whereas I can't let them get away with hijacking the Black image the way that they do. Like I've been doing my videos called, it's based on the concept of the Black mask of failure. Whereas anytime they want to do these new shows, they pick up Black people and put it right out front. And they act like it's not about the LGBTQ stuff behind. They act like it's not about this and that, but they put Black right there. And then everybody gets mad at Black. Everybody gets disrespectful of Black people. It becomes a big old damn joke. And then it fails. And it fails because people are like, oh, there's that DEI again. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't be silent in the face of that because our kids are seeing it too. And our kids are they're believing it, unfortunately.
But our kids are not even watching this stuff. That's why I respect.
They're being affected by it because they're being treated that
Bro,
way in their
this
classroom.
young generation, they is not watching Star Wars and all that type of stuff. They don't care.
It's not just Star Wars.
Fatal.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not just Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's the
everywhere.
same MO. If it's not Star Wars, it's another property.
And
they never seem to see the same. Like they never seem to portray a nuclear Black family. For some reason, when we all know why, they don't want to do that. So
but they'll show two Black mothers.
They'll show two Black mothers. They'll talk crap about Black men. For example, there was this show, I think it's still there, on Hulu called Act Your Age, and girlfriend from Martin was in it. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I want to go watch this show. Some of the old greats that I remember, from Living Single and all that. And I'm watching the first episode, and girlfriend's just talking crap about her fiance, and basically says, we can't get married because I need to just be me and do whatever. And I need to hang with my girls because I have more fun with my girls than I would be married to you. I'm like, okay, so now you're crapping on Black men. So this isn't just happening.
Supposedly there are no good Black men, right? So
yeah, there are none. So there's difference between the rage bait thing to hate watch something. I don't tell people what to do. So it's like, you want to do it, that's fine. But this mess you got to call out.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just covered the Lopez versus Lopez TV show, which got renewed for a third season, saying who's watching this show, who's the audience. And sure enough, you do a little digging, it is the worst rated show on NBC Peacock. They're keeping it alive because of diversity checks. They have cuckolded every week George Lopez, the Chicano male, into being literally, and I just got this video because I don't watch the show. Someone sent it to me, where they make George Lopez a piñata and his daughter beats him up. the ex-wife beats him up. Then they're like, okay, George, now it's your turn. It's your turn to beat yourself up. Go harder, do it. And he's beating himself. He's beating the piñata. And I just got that video today. So I'm just like, I'm pretty upset.
Does that make anyone else's
about.
stomach kind of turn when they hear that? Like, it just makes you feel uncomfortable. It sounds like something you'd hear off the dark web. Like, it just feels wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it done with with black male actors all the time, though, right? I mean, there are no strong black men in Hollywood anymore.
I agree.
And if they are, it's
not in control.
They're either buffoons or they're no goods, right? It's one or the other. They're never stand up.
Feel good. If you're a young black boy, you should feel good about yourself as you go through life, that you're going to become a good man, right? That image is very, very hard to achieve these days. If you're a young boy, I remember when I was growing up, it was I couldn't picture myself as an adult. You know what I mean? It's like I really didn't see my life past like 2025. And I think that a lot of our youngsters are that way, you know? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, Fatal, you were saying that the kids are not watching Star Wars, but see, here's the thing. They're receiving those attitudes indirectly. You know what I mean? It's like I've had long talks with my son. You've heard me talk about my son on videos millions of times, you know, and his friends. And they get hit with all of these attitudes, you know, before they even get into life. They have to deal with being followed around in stores. You know, they have to deal with, you know, people having negative views of who they are. They can't turn on the radio and hear anything that's wholesome that makes them feel good about who they are. You know, and a lot of those attitudes start right there in that pop culture, in those songs, on these TV shows, even if they're not watching it. You know, it's like when the cops are looking for them and stuff. Or
But let me correct myself real quick. When it comes to Star Wars, the reason why I fell in love with Star Wars is because when I looked on that screen, I would look at certain characters and I'd be like, dang, I want to be just like that.
Yeah.
And now when it come to this crap here, it's none of that. But when it come to you, Mark with a C, I see that person. I see that hero. I see that person standing up. What I'm basically trying to boil down to it is this. This is what I'm trying to boil down to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to improve. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's not going to come to a point where we be like, oh man, this is finally moving the needle. Star Wars is on track to where it's supposed to be. It's never going to happen.
Once again, Fatal, you're thinking about the show. I'm talking about what goes on around the show. The show may be in the toilet, but I've had kids who came to me. Actually, my nephew, you know, who he watches my stuff. My sister doesn't know he does, but he does. And he's like 17 years old. And he says, Uncle Mark, he's like, I love that message. I love what you're saying. All they want to know is that they're not crazy, that they're not what the world tells them that they are. You know what I mean? And if we look back far enough, you know, and you're younger than me, you don't have to look back as far. But when I look back, it's like, that's what I needed. I needed to know that I wasn't crazy. You know what I mean? When I was growing up, like, I can't be what these people say that I am. You know, it's like, I'm a 6'5" dark-skinned dude. It's like, you know, I'm something to be afraid of, you know? And if you take that into your heart, you can't be who you are. It's like the world will change you. You know, I was walking around acting like a thug for a while, but I'm like, hold up, that's not who I was raised to be.
And you didn't know who you were. You didn't know who you were. And then a lot of times people don't love themselves. You know what I mean? And I feel like, but this is what I feel like, Mark, I understand you using Star Wars as a tool to talk to people, right? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
The criticism of it, because it's not what it is that they have to know that they have to know what they're doing. In other words, you know what I mean? Like, this is what they're doing. It's like they're not helping. So when they do all of this marketing and they talk about, we got the first black this and the first black that. No, you're not. You're not impressing me. You're not impressing me because you're not really committed to what you're talking about. It's like what Paulie is saying, what they were doing with George Lopez. It's like you might have that representation. It's clicking that box, but it's not helping anything. It's not furthering the image.
At what cost?
You know, I'm gonna play something for you guys. And it speaks to what Mark was saying, what Fatal was saying, what Paulie was saying, what all you guys have been saying on the panel. That it's insidious what they're doing. And it's not just, again, it's not just in Star Wars, it's in a bunch of other things too. But you have Leslie Headland out here saying that this is great because it's diverse or whatever. And this is what we get. I shouldn't have been able to do this.
Last night, a Jedi was murdered on Ueda. Who?
Master Indara.
The suspect matched your description.
That's racist. What, because I'm black?
You think that I killed
I'm
her?
sorry.
Oh, snap.
On this
That's
freighter,
hilarious.
in this room. Why would I kill Indara?
Profile.
I should not have been able to make that joke that easily.
She was racially profiled, everybody. That's Leslie Headland's vision of what they think about, what she thinks about minorities.
Yeah.
Mark, can I say your speeches tonight have just been on point and very emotionally moving, and everyone on this panel, like, this is very therapeutic. Like, I think the world desperately needs more of this, you know, to not
Well, you need to come to the Dark Council on Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. I mean 8:30 Eastern time.
8:30 Eastern. Yeah.
We do this all the time.
But you know,
What time is it?
8:30 p.m. on Wednesdays.
I'm usually on Marvin's show then, but I'll see if it can work out.
Yes, sir.
So
I
probably
really do appreciate that.
I got a little
really do
firsthand.
appreciate that. Thank you.
I got a little
and it's so important, guys, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's noticed. Now, I've been doing these videos now since at least the Star Wars stuff, because I was doing it before then, but the Star Wars stuff since about 2017, 2018, right? I've seen a lot of people come, I've seen a lot of people go. The atmosphere in our fandom has changed so much since back then, right? We used to be in this together, but somehow we've gotten so splintered, we've gotten so disregarding of each other, you know, and, you know, it's like we've become, in a lot of ways, what our critics used to put on us that wasn't accurate back then. You know, back then it wasn't accurate when they used to come at us and say, you're this, you're this phobe and you're this ist or whatever. And we all used to be able to come together and say, no, this is what this is about. This is about us being dissatisfied with your creative choices, with the shows and the movies that we love so much. It's like now we've become very much splintered, you know, and like I said, we're not regarding each other the way that we used to as a united fandom, you know. So, and there's this carelessness when it comes to that, the respect of one another, you know, and it's impossible to ignore. And it's a shame because I feel like companies like Disney and stuff, they created that. You know, we fell into this trap. And that's the reason why you got this this video by what's her name? What's the girl, Amanda Stenberg? Because we were so easy. We were so easy to fall into that, to fall for the bait, you know. And unfortunately, man, it's going to take a lot for us to like really challenge each other to remember who we're supposed to be and who we are, like as human beings. You know, now everything has got to be about, like, they used to be the ones checkboxing. You know, how many whites, how many blacks do we put in? Now we do that as a fandom. I don't see enough white people. I don't see enough black people. Where the gay people? There's too many gay people. Put a chick in it, make her gay.
Oh, there's never too many gay people.
You know, I'm just saying, you know, we notice stuff like that now more than we used to. Like Star Trek: The Next Generation or Deep Space Nine, they always talked about things like this. Always. Yeah. You know, what was it? It was the Trill. Was it the Trill? What's her name? You know who the
Dax. She had the symbiote in her,
right? Like that whole thing was a metaphor. You know,
yeah, she was trans. She was trans.
Well, she was in the literal sense of the word.
Yeah, she was trans.
And
we didn't care. It was dope. We didn't care.
It was done very well, and it was done in the way that you would, if you were in a society where this kind of thing really didn't matter. So they're operating as if they're in our time, but they're supposed to be far more advanced than us as we are in our time right now. And so that shouldn't matter. None of that should matter. None of it should matter.
I mean, the thing is, we're never going to get that level of storytelling. And Paul, when I'm done, you can hop on. I just want to respond to this. We're never going to get that level of storytelling again, man. Like,
right? Yeah, I swear I was going to ask you that. Do you ever feel like
this is very calculated? Okay, what's going on? Yeah. Like we keep talking about Disney, but the other studios have fallen in line. Yeah, to their detriment, by the way. Disney doesn't care how much money they lose.
I agree. I think so too.
It's not about money for them. It's about messaging, right? It's about the message is more important than profit, and they've already proven that, right? They're failing at the 4 biggest properties in the world.
I agree.
When that should any one of those should have been printing money.
I agree.
The MCU, that should have been printing money.
I agree.
But why do you think they gave it up?
When old girl said on that trailer,
because of the message.
But when old girl said, and I knew it was over. But when old girl said on that press conference, R2D2 always been gay. I knew it was a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was a done deal.
No, R2 was
knowing she was going to piss off a lot of people, right? They don't care. They don't care about that.
They don't care. They don't care.
See, but the problem is, it's always going to come down to what we get out of it and what we believe. Now, I'm with you 100%. They own it. They're going to do what they want. I don't think it's ever going to get better. But the point is that what bothers me is when I see us, especially as Black people, accepting this. You know what I mean? Like, for example, we all know the reasons why Black Panther, not the movie, but the phenomenon. Once again, you judge it on the other side, right? You can feel how you feel about the movie, but the phenomenon was very significant in the Black community. You know what I mean? We all knew this, but for some reason, we accepted a Black Panther movie without the Black Panther. And you can only do that when you accept what they're giving you. You know what I mean?
For it. I feel for it.
Well, a lot of us did, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, it's like you have to have it inside of you to say, wait a minute now. No, we are better than this. This is supposed to be the story of a king in a kingdom and all the strong people around him. You took that center away.
Yep.
You could do that as a studio, as writers. They're never going to get any better. They do what they do. But we as a people, yes, Wakanda forever. It's like, what? Why would you accept that as people, as thinking people who know that your children were loving that? Your sons were latching on to that. They needed it. You know what I mean? And no one can argue with me because you can see what's going on out here in the streets. The kids need that image. Not just that image. They need me. They need you. But I'm just saying that's what they were reacting to at the time. You know,
Mark,
like
that's why.
Saying, yeah,
Mark, I'm sorry because you were cooking, but this is why I'm a firm believer of create your own content, create your own stuff. Because Ryan just said it. I've been feeling this for a long time. They not going to change. They not. You know what I'm saying? We just preaching to the choir, we preaching to a dead horse right now. Now, Mark, I'm not saying how to run your channel because your channel is dope. I watch all your videos, but I seriously feel like the way that we can combat this stuff is either do 2 things: 1, ignore, or 2, create. Now that's just me.
No,
that's just me.
The two are not mutually exclusive. I see myself as a soldier who's doing my part, and then I got Ninja Blast on the wall behind me. You know what I mean? I got Rippaverse on the wall behind me. So it's like I believe in all of that. It's very important to create your own, to have your own, not just. I mean, even your like your own your beliefs. You know what I mean? Your values. And it just doesn't have to be racial. You know, it's just these days there's only one way to be. You know, and we're.
But Mark, I will say,
Mark,
sorry, Mark, I'm sorry, but I will say this real fast, and then I'm done talking. I promise. This is what I really mean. This is what I really mean, Mark. When they come to your channel, bro, you definitely are spitting solutions to the choir. You are. But when I watch other people, and this is not a slug, this is just me speaking the truth. When I watch other channels, they're just repeating themselves. Just repeating. But when they come to your channel, bro, I'm seriously hearing solutions. I'm hearing solutions for the youth. I'm hearing solutions for the future, bro. And I guess that's what I mean. Go ahead.
No, I appreciate that. You know what that's about? Is because every time I sit down, I have my son behind me on the wall. You know, it's like you guys know. It's like, you know, me and my wife, or my ex-wife now, but we love each other. We're great friends. But the point is that we didn't know if we were going to be able to have a child. So he was the direct answer to our prayers together. You know, so there's not one day, not 1 second that I don't cherish with him because I wanted him so bad. You know what I mean? So
Right
when
on.
he came to me one day and he said, Dad, you know, why is the world the way it is? You know, it's like I couldn't wait. I mean, I've talked about this a million times. I couldn't wait to share Star Wars with him. And we were loving it until The Last Jedi, you know? And that little kid who was holding my hand said, Dad, I don't like Star Wars anymore. You know, it's like, why is Luke acting that way, Dad? You know what I mean? And it's like something inside of him died. It might sound like it's dramatic or overly dramatic, but that's the way I felt. It's like I had to watch that part of him leave, and then to see all of the things around him betray him. It's like I have to look at you. Sometimes when you're a parent, you guys know, you look at life through the kids' eyes, you know?
Yeah.
So everything they see is starting to betray them. You know what I mean? It's like his music is now self-destructive. You know, you can't listen to it. I mean, at one point he told me, you know, he was having feelings, and, you know, thank God we got past it. He was having feelings of harming himself at one point. You know what I mean? Because his self-esteem was taking a beating. And I had to look at, what are you ingesting? Like, what is it that's in your world? You know what I mean? And it's not just him. You know, I look at his friends and, you know, his other family members and things like that. And I see what these kids are going through, because boys don't know if it's safe to be a boy. You know what I mean? And girls, they think they're supposed to be on a stripper pole somewhere because they're listening to freaking Cardi B and all of these people.
Thank you.
Sexy Red. Everything around them has betrayed them. You know what I mean? So it's like every time I sit down here, I feel that. I never phone it in, ever. You know what I mean? Because I know what these kids are going through. You know, it's not just about what I want to see. I'm a grown man, man. I got grays. I'm old. You know what I mean? I could watch anything. you know what I mean? But these kids, they're the ones that's going to be here after we're gone. And those are the ones we should be looking out for.
I always wonder what all of this is doing to young boys everywhere. Like every single future, you know,
destroying them.
Man is ingesting this and is learning, like, okay, I guess I don't matter. And
that is
that's
extremely common.
Well, and it's like I say on my show all the time, man. Masculinity is what they're taking away, right? They're trying to replace what masculinity is with what they want it to be, right? Which are effeminate.
What they consider to be, what they consider to be,
and especially in Hollywood. I call it the Hollywood bug breaking, because that's what it is. It's like they want super effeminate black men, especially, you know, for these roles.
I mean, yeah, but just men in general.
Straight
men in general to be totally soft and
this stuff been going on for a long time.
And that was the beginning of this conversation.
Yeah,
was like, why are you? And I asked this in my essay to her. Why are you trying to change the male audience? You talk about allyship. Those men, or let's say conservative, are going to be half your audience. Why the F would you try to change them? Why would you insult them? Why would you degrade them?
Why indeed?
It's just absolutely incredible. In the balls to say that, no pun intended, right? For this director, this creative person who I still respect her past work, to say that, it's like, you're just telling us what we all know. And you know, at the end of the day, I really believe, and I said this, you're not going to get the outcome that you think you're going to get. You might get in your little circles, you give each other awards, you create awards, you kiss each other's ass, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, you walk out of the bubble and you get to meet real people, different backgrounds, and you're like, oh, that's how it is. Yeah, that's how it is. Black and brown men, white men, all kinds of people that live in one neighborhood together at times, that are looking out for each other, that support and love each other, that are great neighbors to each other, that are great foster male figures. And that's really important too. And I do that with a couple of kids that we do the martial arts with. Dante's been over. It's just really important for us to, like, where we can, just be of service, because what Mark's saying is so true. You know, the moving image is so powerful. So, you know, they shouldn't be getting their male role models from TV and film. It's like, well, try to fight it. If you don't have a father and if you don't have a family at the house, you're already behind 8 ball.
Yeah.
So
and to be fair, it's not just with the men. I mean, with the women, they're trying to defeminize women. They're trying to make them look as unattractive as possible, just so that trans women could feel better about the fact that they're a dude who wants to be a woman. I mean, if we're being honest, that's what it is. It's like if you look at the video games, look at all the female characters now, right? They all have the big jawline. If you've noticed, they all have that weird face where if you gave them a buzz
blockhead look,
they could be a guy.
They've been uglified. I'm just like, I don't want to look at that.
I mean that's why
like
Sydney Sweeney is so popular right now. It's not that she's a great actor. She's a hot mama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and she has curves too. Because if you have curves, that's a crime of some sort.
And she owns her sexiness.
Yeah.
She doesn't try to hide it. She doesn't try to put, make others feel better about themselves.
No,
it is what it is.
Let me tell you something. What God made when He made women was freaking unparalleled. It could never be ever anything like it. You know what I mean? For men, for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like women
you know what you mean.
They can drive you crazy in every way imaginable. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm talking about. But what they're trying to do is exactly what you're saying. They're trying to act like somehow they can be interchangeable with a man who identifies as a woman. And that's just insane. It's like you have men who are winning beauty contests for women right now. What is it? Miss Maryland, I think it was.
Yeah. There's been a few of them actually.
Yeah. And at what point do we just start to say, without risking employment and stuff? I mean, it's gotten to the point now where you can risk real things now if you disagree with that, if you speak out against that. And it's just a shame because it's like they're not the same. They're just not.
No,
a woman is a woman.
This is a great discussion. You have to watch Paulie's video when he releases it because it's out. It's out. Okay, folks, go over to the Latino Slant. Make sure you're subscribed. Check that video out
because you won't believe. I mean, you guys here on the panel will believe that this director said stuff like that, but I'm just like, oh my god.
Oh man, I can't wait to
something else. Ugh. Well, Abu Nas, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, my dear. Says, don't mind me. I'm on a dinner break working criminal court. Oh, man. But wanted to say congrats on 8K subs. You're on a tear. Keep going. Much love to you as always, my dear. Salute to everyone that's here tonight. I'm sorry you had to work tonight, but glad to hear. Love the support from El Presidente and always supporting, always making the community laugh. That's for sure. Like this right here.
Oh no, here we go.
That'll never get old.
Freaking best thing ever.
Classic.
That clip will never get old.
Absolute banger.
It should always be said too. Abu was genuinely upset by that. He was pissed off because she was actually trying to rhyme. And Abu, he's the MC. So he took offense to that, man. And that was real, what you saw with him.
And like the best, oh my gosh, the best clip ever. To the point where I had to have that loaded in StreamYard because so many people are like, play that clip when I boo in it again.
Right. That's great.
Zakarat, thank you for being a member for 19 months and an awesome mod. I could not do this job without my amazing mods out there. Congrats on 8K, Lorena, on to 10K. Well, thank you. And it would definitely be a blessing to hit 10K. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And Vash, thank you so much, my dear, for the $5 super chat. I'm sorry for not being able to join this amazing panel, but I'm a bit under the weather. We'll get better soon, my dear. Mm-hmm. Congratulations on 8K. It feels like I saw Tifa yesterday.
I was trying to
Yeah.
understand that so much for like a good minute. Like, does he mean like in the animes when they start nosebleeding after they see a hot girl? Like, is that what the allergies? What does he mean by that?
No, because for the 7K, my 7K stream, I promised that if I hit 7K, and Demajin never let me forget it, that I was going to dress up as Tifa from Final Fantasy. So that's what I did.
Oh, got you.
My only thing is you're doing all this dress up, but all we're seeing is this. Someone had to say it. Someone had to say it. 1,000 after 1,000. We love you. We love you, but you beautiful lady. Come on now.
I second that.
I just had to, I say it with respect.
I know. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I just do not like really taking pictures of myself like that. I have no idea why.
I don't mean to put you on the spot like that.
No. That's okay. That's okay.
Polly, take off your shirt now.
I'm like, why do you?
I'm going to change the subject real quick. Lorena, thanks for having me. Congratulations on the 8K. And Lorena, what am I going to say next?
Ninja Vanish. I know Fatal just too darn well. I don't know. I've stopped promising that stuff because
right. Yeah.
I don't know. How about I surprise you for I'll surprise you for a 9K. I'll find something.
Might as well wear like an astronaut hat since it's just gonna be this. The astronaut.
The helmet.
The helmet.
Yeah.
The helmet.
Yeah.
Oh
I look like I belong to a Daft Punk. I'll do it.
I'm being silly.
Well, folks, thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. You guys get me.
Let's give it up for Lorena.
Thank you. I love doing this. I love the connections that I've made with you guys and with all of you out there. It's a blessing to be able to do this. And my sister's like, you're just in your element. I'm like, really? I'm just up here in front of it. She's like, no. You just are. My nieces and nephews flip out every time they hear the the opening for the channel, and they come running. They want to know if I'm on TV, or my sister will get in the chat and say, tell them to go to bed. And I have to tell them tell them to go to bed. But this is just so much fun, and I love doing it. And you guys are a blessing to me as much as you guys say that I'm a blessing to you. So I appreciate the support. I would say it takes a lot of guts to be kind, especially with the world that we have going on today. It takes guts to be kind. It takes guts to speak the truth. It takes guts to not take what an echo chamber tells you that you should believe or that you should say. It takes guts to stand up to that. So don't be a sheep. Don't fall for the okie doke, as I'm forgetting who said that, but that's pretty much it. That's going out
Beautifully
there.
said. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you.
So be nice, Dante. Be nice to me, Dante.
Hey, I'm always nice.
Dante's cool.
No, I know. I just because I actually of the panel, I actually see him in person. Although it's been a minute, Jesus, I got to get out there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah. We live pretty close by.
Yeah,
but yes,
I have to.
Wonderfully said.
Thank you. I'm trying to get back to LA. I say that with trepidation because I hate LAX. Do not like that airport, but
I gotta say, as someone who's been mentally so frustrated with the echo chamber, the media, and all the crazy people out there for the past several years, and it's had a lot of daily struggles with that, feeling kind of alone in the world of these viewpoints, or a very select few people with it. tonight has been very therapeutic and is very eye-opening to the world. And I hope tonight is a night I'll remember for the rest of my life, because this has been one of the most insightful conversations I think I've ever been in my life.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
So,
Yeah, it's nice.
same here. And I hope that our show tonight is contagious to everyone in the audience watching tonight. They know that don't just go by those screaming people on X, Instagram, or even walking down the street. Try to be that person you want the world to be, and hopefully you can rub off on someone else around you. Surround yourself with good people.
Woo.
Yeah.
Very,
very,
So that got
very
deep.
well said.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, folks, make sure you subscribe to everyone here on this panel. Great content. You will not regret it at all. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks so much for being here. You're watching the replay. Thanks so much for watching the replay. Hit that like button, and I will see you all later. Bye.
See you guys.